Hey, what's up guys? This is Ian and welcome to another one of my videos. Right, today I'm going to show you guys how to make Chinese dumplings, and this is my version of it. I'm sure there's a lot of versions out there, but this is what I like. So if you like my recipe, please do give me a thumbs up for this video and let's get into it. So first things we need to do is to wrap the dumpling, and these are the ingredients. First you need to have obviously a minced pork, and this is 500 grams of minced pork. Then you have sesame seed oil. That's about 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil. And then you have brown sugar. You have chopped onion, 1 chopped onion. You have oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And then you have salt, black pepper, and onion powder. Alright, so let's start mixing in. First, mix in your solids. Okay, so I'm gonna mix in my brown sugar. Okay, then my chopped onions. Just add it in. Spatula. And then just add in some of my powder, the black pepper, the onion powder, and all that. Try to mix it in first. Okay, so once your solid ingredients have been mixed in, now I'm gonna mix in the liquid. So this is the sesame seed oil. Just gonna mix it in, right? And my oyster sauce. Right? Okay, so now that I've mixed all my ingredients in within the meat, let's move on to the next step. Alright, so now that we have the fillings, we've done the filling, the next step we're gonna do is to make the skin, the dumpling skin itself. Alright, and for this we need cake flour. Well, you can use any flour. You can use wheat flour. This is actually wheat flour, okay? Well, if you pronounce as flour, this is wheat flour, okay? But in Singapore, we pronounce it as flour, okay? So you have about 2 cups of flour, and then add a bit of salt, and of course you need some water, okay? So this is water, and let's start. So let's add the flour into a bowl. You need a bowl. Right? Add the flour into the bowl. Okay, that's about 1 cup, 2 cups. I'll just put everything in. Okay. Alright, so all the flour is in. Put it one side, and then I'll slowly add in the water. First, wash your hands. Before I add the water, let's add a bit of salt. Okay, just a bit of salt, just a pinch of salt. Okay, that's enough. Alright, now you add the water and add a bit of warm water, make it warm, make sure it's not cold water, and start to mix it in. Okay, mix in the water. Alright, make sure you don't pour the whole thing in. Okay. Slowly add in the water. Okay. Right. Make sure you get this clumpy texture of the flour. You know, you want the flour to be clumpy. Okay, before you start using your hands, because okay, I'm gonna use two hands now because it's starting to get clumpy. You can use your hands too if you want. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add more water as it dries up. Okay, more water. So as you can see, the powdery form has now become clumpy. Okay, you can add in the rest of the water. Okay, so I'm gonna start using my hands. Okay, so let's get the flour out from the spoon. Okay, so you can start using your hands and start kneading. Hands to knead the flour, and you need to start kneading for about 10 minutes. Yeah. When you see the flour becomes a dough, then you know it's enough. I'm gonna add in a bit more water. If it becomes too dry and it's hard to knead, then add in water. If not, well, I can add a bit of water here, right, so that it goes in well together, the dough. Okay. Okay, it's still clumpy, so I think I'll need to add a bit more water. Okay, so this is, if you look at the dough, it's a bit clumpy here. Let's add a bit of water. Okay. Work at it. Okay. so alright, so as you can see, it's now made into a dough. Alright, so just need it a bit more, and now just let your dough rest for about 3 minutes. Alright, and let's move on to the next step. Alright, so now that the dough has been resting for about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we're gonna start making the skin of the dumpling. Right, so put your dough out, okay, and then I'm gonna divide it into 3 portions so that I can start rolling. Okay, so let's bring it out, then half here, I'll go about here, right, and then here, I'm going to start chopping up here, right, so we have 3 portions, I'll put the other 2 portions one side, okay, and then put some flour. Here. Okay, I'm going to start to roll it into a long strip. Alright, start rolling it. Let's put this one side. Slowly roll it. Stretch it out a bit. Okay. Stretch it out a bit. Then start rolling it. Put a bit more flour. Stretch it out a bit. Okay. So you roll it where you can start to cut, or you imagine that's about 10 pieces of stretch this a bit. Alright. Right, so now this is pretty stretched. Okay, so let's cut this into 10 pieces. So this is the middle, right? So cut this into middle. Okay. I'll just roughly cut this into about there, right? Well, I can make about 12, you know. Doesn't matter. Okay, as long as it's even. Right, so now that you have cut these into pieces, just put them one side. Alright. And then start rolling the first one. Okay, so just roll it up into a ball, just like that. Right? Take a bit of flour. Put it on your cutting board, and then use your rolling pin, just gently press it down, right, turn it around. So obviously mine is not round enough, okay, but you get the idea. It's roughly there. Okay, so that's one skin. Alright, so I'm gonna start, let's maybe just make one more just to show you guys. Okay, so make sure your dough is in a perfect, let's put a bit more flour. Your dough is in a perfect ball or sphere. Okay, this will take some skill, but I'm sure after practicing a few times you can get it into a ball, which I'm still trying to master that skill. So this is roughly there, right? And then use your rolling pin and just flatten it, turn it around, flatten it, turn it around, flatten it. Okay, turn it around, flatten it until you get nice. Let's do it one more time. One more time. Until you get right a perfect circle. Right, so I'm going to continue making the rest of the skin and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now to the next step. Now that we have done the skin, we have done the filling, and it's time to wrap the dumplings up into little bundles, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So I'll just grab a skin. Okay, right, this is the skin, and then I'm gonna put some meat, okay, inside the dumpling itself. Not too much, if not you won't be able to close it. Okay, just a bit more. Right, then just with a bit of water, put in the middle and fold it into half. Okay, and then on this side just fold like this and do the same for this side. Right, so that's my dumpling. If it opens up, just add a bit of water. Make sure it doesn't open up. Okay. So let's make another one since I dropped that in the water. Okay, so add a bit of meat in it. Make sure it's in the middle, and then on the edges, a bit of water, and then on this edge add some water on the edge as well. Okay, fold it here, and then do the same on this side. Okay, fold it like this, right? Okay, so that's my dumpling. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Basically, this is not a restaurant or anything like that. It's just basically for your household consumption, and I'm basically a home cook, so I'm just gonna roughly make it. Okay, put some water, fold it into half. Okay, and then put some water here, fold this into half, fold this up on the edges as well, put some water on this side, put some okay, so now we get the idea. Right, so I'm gonna continue to make all this dumplings. and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so now that we have folded all the dumplings, as you can see here, it's all folded, nicely folded. Alright, we're gonna start to steam it. So today I'm going to steam my dumplings, and actually there are many ways of consuming or cooking your dumplings. You can boil it, you can steam it, you can fry it, and these dumplings can be kept for quite some time before you know take it out. You can freeze it, put it in your freezer, and you can consume it at a later time. So for today I'm gonna steam it. As you can see, I have a pan with boiling water, and the water is boiling now, so I'm going to put in my dumplings. Okay, so I'm gonna put my dumplings nicely one by one. Okay. Alright, so now that my dumplings are inside, I'm going to put on the lid and let this steam for about 15 minutes, and we'll get cooked dumplings. Alright, so I'll see you guys again in my next step. Alright guys, we are back, and this dumplings have been steaming for about 15 minutes now. So I'm gonna open up and take it out from the steamer. Check this out. Look at that color. So as you can see, the skin is nice and moist. Let's start to plate. Okay, let's put the cover one side. Okay, start to plate it. Okay. Okay, so maybe just turn off the flame first before you overcook the skin and it dries out. Okay, take it out. Okay. Try not to break the skin or drop the dumpling for that matter. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna move my camera back here. And there you go guys. Nice, delicious dumplings. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.